So I just arrived at the building of P Nation and I'm afraid to go inside because I'm here way too early and they're like, don't come early, there's no space to wait. But I'm here early so that I can practice my vocals. I don't even know what song I'm doing. I don't know the lyrics. I don't know anything, guys. I'm stressed. So right now it is 10:30 and you can't see that. It's 10:30, just trust me. And I've just been waiting and I've literally been seeing the P Nation staff, like the audition staff I suppose, put up the whole sign. I'll show you on the screen right here, and also a label which basically reads that you can only enter the building 10 minutes before your audition time. My audition time is 11 a.m. so I can go in at 10:50 and there's still like 20 minutes left. I've been getting like mosquito bites on my legs. It's not a vibe, but low-key I love this fit. You thought we were done with the audition experience videos? Nah, we've got more. So this time around, I auditioned for P Nation Entertainment back in Korea. Now this was back in the summer, so quite a bit ago, but I kind of forgot to post about it if I'm being honest, but I'm sharing the experience story today. And honestly, I'm a little shaky because I'm hungry. I just ordered sushi from Uber Eats, so do you guys mind if I like eat while I share my story? No? Okay, cool. This is what it looks like. Okay, let me get started. So basically a lot of people were standing outside of the building, the P Nation building, just waiting for the audition time. So I was one of them obviously, and one of the girls kind of like made eye contact with me as she was like walking towards the building, and I was like, oh yeah, and she kind of did like an awkward bow, so I kind of like bowed back at her and we started talking, and turns out she's a 2009 liner, which I was absolutely shocked by. So her plan was to do vocals and sing Tekalkumani by Mamamoo. And she was like, oh, what category are you doing and what song are you planning on singing? And I was like, oh, I'm just gonna sing like this very unpopular English song, because at that time I didn't really know what song choice to sing, so I kind of just like made something up. But I was kind of like leaning towards an unpopular English song, so I told her that, and she was like, oh, are you a foreigner? And I was like, yeah, well, kind of. Like, I live in Canada. And she was like, oh, your accent. I was like, I have an accent? An English accent? I was dead. And she was like, oh, you also look mixed. I was like, what? I never heard that one before. So that was kind of crazy. Okay, first bite. I don't think I've ever done a mukbang on this channel, but here we are. So at exactly 10:50, we were let into the audition building, and mind you, the audition starts at 11, of course. And it was kind of like a basement building. So we all walked down, and there's a staff member handing out these name stickers. And by the way, these stickers, so like the number that you get, is already pre-assigned. There was like a pre-registering portion of the monthly audition, so you basically have to pass that round to get into the actual in-person round. This was the email that they sent. I can kind of go over it and give a brief overview. I'm going to cheat and automatically use Google Translate to translate it. So it's like, oh, thank you for your interest. The audition will be held on Sunday, August 13th. So I know this was a while ago. They give you the information about where the building is and also registration and blah, blah, blah. If you have any questions, contact. So, you know, the basic stuff. But I love it because it's like really simple, and they tell you your number. Mine was number 5. So I was actually the first person to enter the building, and it was like this really, really nice practice room, that like this huge practice room with 7 rooms inside the room. Does that make sense? So it's like a main room, and then inside there are other rooms to the side. Basically, this is what it looks like, and it was actually really nice, and it seemed like there were name tags on each door. So maybe each trainee had their own practice room, which is really fancy. Good for them. Okay, I'm gonna take a bite and probably chew before talking, because chewing and talking at the same time proves to be a challenge. So I wrote these timestamps down just so I wouldn't forget. So at 10:55, there were around 10 people just waiting, sitting around in the practice room. And at 11, there were 13 people. And at 11:05, they actually started calling the first 5 people. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we were brought into this other practice room that almost looked identical to the previous practice room. So that one also had those seven mini practice rooms in there as well. So basically those 2 practice rooms were connected, and as I was leaving the audition, I also like kind of like sneaked a look at the other rooms, and turns out there's also like a fitness studio, so I thought that was really cool. Okay. So when we actually went into the audition room, there was one staff with a camera, like with a tripod of course, and she said, for those who are auditioning for dance, we'll do those at the end, and then start with the vocal and rap category people. We'll start with person number 1. Now, there was actually no one here in our group that was actually doing the dance category. So everyone just basically did their thing in order. So number 1, this was a girl, and she was actually rapping to Block Boy JB and Drake's Look Alive. I didn't really know much about this song, but I actually later searched it up, and turns out it's very popular. But I do feel like it would be a good K-pop audition song choice for the rap category, of course, because it's not too well known, I guess, in K-pop, and not a lot of people are choosing that for their auditions. Also, it just really worked well for her vocal tone, and she really pulled it off because she was definitely like talented in rapping, and I think that song choice was really able to back that up. And I think for the rap category, what really makes it or breaks it is your delivery and your confidence. If that's lacking but you have perfect flow, perfect enunciation, it means absolutely nothing. But she was able to do that, and I guess if I were to give her some critiques, even though you guys aren't like listening to what she's rapping to, basically like she did rap in, or not, she did rap obviously, she did rush in certain parts, and also the ending, yeah, the ending felt a little bit incomplete. She rapped for about 50 seconds in total and stopped herself. Mind you, the judge never actually stopped anyone during this audition. And now we get into the actual good stuff. So number 2 started off with singing Cups by Anna Kendrick, like, you know, the I gotta take it to the long way, that one. So she sang for about 30 seconds of that song, and then suddenly switched it up and started rapping. And it seemed like it was a self-written rap, and I don't mean to be mean, but it was like obvious that it was self-written just because it was a little bit cringe. I don't know how to describe it, but basically the lyrics were about her style and her stage presence and how we're going to remember her name after this performance. But she actually never said her name during the rap, so I was a little confused about that. Like, how am I supposed to know your name if you're not going to say it? And it was just like really poorly executed in my opinion. I really hate to say this. To me, it was just clear that she didn't practice enough because she was stumbling on her words. She had like 2-second pauses in the middle, and it was obvious that she like forgot her lyrics. And especially because it's like a self-written rap, you're supposed to really share your story through the lyrics and make it seem like you know what you're talking about. But if you're forgetting your own lyrics in the middle of it, it just isn't it, yeah. Honestly, this wasn't even the worst part. I'll mention this more in the end, but after the audition, more embarrassing things happened that gave me even more secondhand embarrassment for her. So in total, that was 1 minute and 40 seconds long. I'm really surprised that the judges actually did not stop her, considering like the length and also like the fact that she messed up multiple times, but the judges just let her keep on going. Okay, it's actually taking forever to film the video because I keep taking a bite of sushi in the middle and then I watch YouTube shorts with it. Anyway, the third guy that went actually sang Take Me to Church by Hozier. Hozier? I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. But anyway, the singing was pretty good, but what really stood out to me was the English pronunciation. Like, it was like pretty fluent, so I was like, oh, what do you mean I'm not the only fluent in English person here? He sang for a minute and it was finally my turn. Let's just let's take a listen, shall we? It's not good. I'm gonna warn you guys. But yeah, let's listen to it.
Don't run away, I'm not what they say, but you waste my time, so I'm always running. Just friends don't do what we do. What we do can't do without you. Just friends don't say what we say. What we do can't do without you, without you, without you, without you, no, without you,
Yeah, so I sang for 1 minute and 20 seconds and it really just wasn't my best. Like, I was nervous, and also my volume like was the only good thing. I think I also like stumbled up on some lyrics. Actually, one part, and I kind of covered it well, so it wasn't too bad overall. Keep in mind, like, I didn't know what song I would do even just 20 minutes before the audition, and I ended up with this song, which is Just Friends by Audrey Mika, because I was like totally obsessed with it over the summer. It's a really good song to listen to if you guys want some song recommendations. But anyway, turns out being obsessed with the song does not mean it's going to be executed well during an audition, nor does it mean that you're going to fully know the lyrics, because clearly I did not. So the next person sang Spicy for about 1 minute and 10 seconds, and really nothing special, I guess, but she did like do the choreo kind of with her arms. Like, she was standing still, but she kind of did that hand movement. It was just a little awkward just because it felt like there was no stage presence, but looked like she was really trying to put an effort into nailing down the arm movements. For a vocal audition, you really do not need to have this. Just do whatever is natural for you. So if it's like just going like this or like that, I don't know, something like natural is good. If it's obvious that you're forcing the arm movements, it's not going to look natural, and I feel like the judges will focus more on that than your actual singing. So you as a singer who's singing for an audition should only focus on that. But if the hand movements come natural to you during your audition, then go for it. Either like do it, like really dance to the choreography with all of the arm movements, leg movements, all of that complete with the vocals, or just do singing. Like there shouldn't be an in-between, if that makes sense. Okay, so this is where the second person of the audition actually comes back to the story, because after the fifth person was done singing to Spicy, she was like, thank you, you may all leave now, and the second girl rushes to the judges table. Now mind you, it's not that far, I don't think, like it's not really like a running situation, but she runs and she's like, please, like, can I just sing one more rap? And the judge handles it really well, and she's like, no, sorry, we only do one song per person, which makes sense because obviously why would she like let that person do another audition? And also they kind of like ruined it, so they definitely don't want to see more. I mean, even if this person is someone that they want to see more of, they're not going to allow that right on the spot unless the judge called for, you know, you don't make the decisions when it comes to your K-pop audition. So I was just like, what? And everyone kind of looked her way like, girl, what? And she also had these like printed lyrics, like pieces of paper, and she like, it was like stapled, it was like really thick too, so she gave that to the judge and she's like, please read this over. And at that point the judge was like, you guys all need to leave the room. So I left, and I'm not really sure what happened after that, but I imagine it wasn't too good, and I'm sure she did not pass her audition, especially with that kind of action. If you're doing an audition, do not make yourself stand out that way, because that is the wrong way to stand out. Do not do something that's just gonna embarrass yourself and probably get blacklisted by P Nation. But that was my audition experience for P Nation. Surprisingly enough, I've actually got one more audition experience video to share, but I'm not going to spoil what company. If you guys want to take a guess, then go for it. Updates on my life. It was finals week last week. I mean, it still is for me. So I couldn't post a video last week. I'm so sorry for that, but everyone was very understanding and wished me luck on my exams. I mean, I had 3 last week, and 2 out of 3 of them went well. I'm not going to talk about the other one because I might cry. I also have one next Wednesday, and after that we're pretty much done. So I'll see you guys next week, and thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.